Oh, good morning, everybody. Good morning, Roberta. Yes, I have power restored, and we're here. Good morning, Daz. It appeared you could not find my live at all, and yet here we both are. Good morning, Daz. How's everybody doing this morning? I tell you, I'm actually still cold. I need to find a blanket for my feet because even though I have my slippers on, I'm just chilled this morning. You guys would not believe the night we had. Some of you, if you're on Instagram, I posted something and you might know what happened to us last night. Let me grab one of my trusty little sweaters and put it down here by my feet and wrap my feet in it real quick because my feet are cold. And of course, I'm downstairs because the upstairs is absolutely freezing. I'm not going up there. I'm going to put my feet inside a sweater. Sometimes you do what you got to do, right? It's not an easy feat, I assure you, for my feet. Okay, that's going to be better. Okay. I don't know what's going on today. My sugars are good, but my vision is blurry. So I've tried several reading glasses today, and things are still blurry in the chat. So I'm going to do the best that I can. Yes, it is -15 with a -31 wind chill this morning. I was really upset that hubby is such a wonderful technician with our vehicles because they actually started this morning, and that meant he had to go to work. And I really wanted him to stay here. It's 3 a.m. and Daz has the fan blasting, so he is quite the opposite. Well, we knew that we were going to be under a winter advisory for wind chill factors, and we knew it was going to be cold. And we each have a heating blanket, an electric blanket on each side of our bed, because even though it's a king size bed, by the time you put a king size blanket on it and then you get bodies and dogs and everything underneath it, your backside sticks out the end and it's just no fun. So we each have a twin so we don't steal covers from each other. And so the bed was so nice and warm and toasty when we went to bed last night. And then we were woken up at about 1:30 to this beeping noise. And I woke up and I said to Papa Jim, I said, what is that noise? And he goes, it's my CPAP. We both wear CPAPs to sleep at night. And he has mild sleep apnea, but for me for years now, and I never did follow up until a few years ago. When I sleep, and it doesn't matter what I weigh because it even happens when I'm thinner, my oxygen saturation levels go down into the 50s. So no wonder I've got dead brain matter up there. I've probably had several little strokes. So I have to have this CPAP. And so we both wear them at nighttime and his is beeping. And I said, well, why is it beeping? He says, well, I guess we've lost power. He says the radio's off. I was like, oh, but like we have a dehumidifier and the lights were still on for the dehumidifier and the beeping's going on. We have external batteries. So in case we lose power, the CPAPs aren't supposed to be affected. They're supposed to just continue on, right? And but they didn't. They kept stopping and they kept throwing off these weird signals that there was a problem. And so Papa Jim got up and he came out here to the kitchen. He says, like, I had the Instant Pot plugged in. He goes, the Instant Pot's freaking out. It was like a NASA instrument panel. All the lights were flashing, was throwing out these weird codes. Microwave was doing the same thing, but there's no power to the house. It was just these, I don't know if it was like a trickle surge. I don't know what was happening, but we had no power in the house. Looked outside, no lights outside for the farms and the hog confinements all around us. Like there was no power. We were in a blackout. So we're like, okay, no big deal. We'll just go back to bed and go to sleep. Well, friends, when it is a -35 wind chill in the middle of the night, I think it was 31 at the moment, but we got down to 35 last night, -35. Things get cool in a house very, very quickly. We chilled up. Hello, Lazy Days. Hello, Grace and Fire. Hello, Lisa from Yogi Hollow Farm. It got cold in this house last night very quickly. I was surprised at how quickly it chilled up in here. And so we're in bed. We've got all the dogs piled in bed with us to keep them warm, to keep us warm. And we're just kind of, trying to do the best we can without the CPAPs off and on and all this weird stuff and everything. And I had my nightgown on, and I keep the nightgown, kind of pushed up to my elbows. And I told Papa Jim, I said, my elbows are cold. He says, well, pull the sleeves down on your nightgown, you dork. So I pulled down the sleeves on my nightgown, and we're all cuddled up under the blankets. It's like, my face is cold. And if I've got the CPAP working, I can go under a blanket or something, and I can still feel like I'm getting enough oxygen. But if it's not working, I'm not cuddling up underneath a blanket or under a pillow or anything. So the CPAP would kick on, it would kick off, it would kick on, it would kick off. It would beep every 15 minutes. So we had very little sleep last night as we watched the temperatures plummet inside the house. I have no idea how cold it got in the house, but it was cold. And the reason I know it got cold is besides my body telling me it was really cold and the dog's not wanting to sleep on the floor right now, is right off of the master bedroom is the old boot room. And it's an insulated room. It's insulated, but it also has the access to the basement, and it has an outdoor access as well. And in the wintertime, Papa Jim runs up a hose from the water down in the basement, which usually keeps an ambient temperature in the 60s because it's underground, right? So we have water access down there, and he runs a hose up the stairs, and we open up the window and we water the coop kids that way. Well, when we had our last big storm blow through, and he keeps it kind of mounted inside, but on an inside wall, and then he just takes the hose off and opens the window. He says the hose froze. It's pretty cold outside. The hose froze. And I was like, okay. So he thaws it all out. And then I noticed the last few days he has it up the stairs, but on the inside of the staircase, over the railing, and just kind of resting inside the clawfoot tub. So that's an interior room, I mean, it's where our laundry is and where the tub is and everything. And he woke up this morning. He says, that hose is frozen. Everything's frozen in the bathroom. So luckily, all of the plumbing for the tub is under the floor in the basement itself. But things are frozen like 6 feet from where I was sleeping. Things froze. That's how cold it was. Good morning, Tom on the plant. Good morning. So we didn't get much sleep last night because it was cold, but we woke up this morning. We had power restored. We've got the heater going. And I know some people said that'd be a good time for a generator. And we have one. We have a really good generator. And it's one that it's a 220. It can run the pump and everything for the water if we get really, really in a bad spot. But I wasn't going to send Papa Jim out to the workshop in negative 35-degree wind chill to get the generator when we could just pile up underneath a bunch of blankets and do our best to stay warm. So the coffee is flowing this morning. It is much appreciated. Papa Jim got this morning. He says, I'll make you a cup of coffee. I said, thank you. And I sat here snuggled with the dogs. The dogs go outside and they're like, oh man, I don't know if I want to pee out here or not, because they might get stuck to the porch. I don't know. So yeah, it's cold. And I posted a beautiful video of some snow on the farm from when the winter storm Izzy went through. And a couple of people are like, oh gosh, I'm sorry you're having so much trouble with snow. It's not trouble. I really hope people don't think that I'm complaining, because I'm not complaining. I love the snow. I love living here. Having harsh winters is all part of the deal. I like to share what's going on. It's like, oh my gosh, it's negative 14 degrees outside. We've had it where the actual temperature has been like negative 29 with the wind chill, negative 53. When we lived on the other side of the state, almost 40 years ago, we had negative 80 wind chill one year. That was the 1 year we lived in Iowa. And when the snow thawed, Papa Jim said, that's it. I'm out of here. He didn't want to stick around anymore. Good morning, Joe. Welcome. I'm glad you're here, everybody. So I wanted to share something with you. I'm having coffee in a new mug this morning. Look at this beautiful mug. Some of you may recognize this mug. Look how beautiful. Handmade. I'm going to see if I can share a screen and pull this up real quick. I want to get right into this so I don't forget it, because I want to give a little shout out this morning to where I got this from. So let me see if I can pull this up. I'm going to do a Slim Jet tab. Here it is. Share. There we go. Look at this mug. Now, you may notice that This mug is not that mug, but that mug by the page on Instagram called Homemade, Homegrown, Home Thrown. They were having a contest. Like they were doing a giveaway. And some of my friends put my name in and we put their name in and back and forth. Everybody puts everybody's name in. And I won. And this is the mug I won, this brown one. Well, when I contacted the lady, she said, do you like that brown one? Or do you like this tan one? And I said, I really like that tan one. She said, well, good, because the person that liked the tan one really likes the brown one. So we switched, and this came in the mail today from Kelly. So I wanted to give her a shout out for this beautiful handmade mug. Let me get back to the one I actually won. There it is. Look at those mountain peaks. Aren't those beautiful? And it is sturdy. This is a sturdy, beautiful, well-made mug. Let me take this down because I want to show you something that I think is so beautiful that you normally don't see. Look at the handle. Look at the detail on the handle where she put the handle on. There's that detail there. Isn't that pretty? And then look, she used her thumb to make this really beautiful fanned part on the handle. And then she etched in all of these little mountains and stuff and glazed it. I think it's just gorgeous. You like the brown one? I showed Papa Jim both of them because I thought it's kind of, it's kind of a manly mug. And I thought, Papa Jim will probably use it more than I will. No, because I love it so much. I'm going to use it. And I asked him, I said, which one do you like more? And he said, well, this one here reminded him of the mountain ranges from his grandparents' farm down in the Ozarks a little bit more than the brown one did. So we went with this tan one and it showed up and he just loves it. So I don't have very many homemade mugs that this is hand thrown on her little, spinny thing. And I love it. And it's all splattered. She used the splatter technique for the painting and everything. I love it. So thank you to Kelly for that. If you don't follow her over on Instagram, I have not found a Facebook page for her, but she is on Instagram and it is called, because she sent me a little card too, Homemade, Homegrown, Home Thrown. So she sent a little card with it and I'm just so grateful for that. And I'm grateful and thankful to my friends who put me into that giveaway. So cheers, everybody. How many cats can it hold? Oh, how many cups can it hold? I told you my glasses are doing me no favors today. Kitty. Let me see how many cats I could shove in here. I would imagine it's probably a nice 12 ounce. I took my regular cup that Papa Jim made me a cup of coffee this morning and I poured it into here. I warmed it up and poured it in. So we had a pretty harrowing night last night. And like I said, I don't ever want anybody to think that I'm complaining when I share about our weather and stuff, because when we lived in Southern California, we didn't get weather. We didn't get seasons. Everything was pretty much the same all the time. And then you come here and it's like, oh, this is going to happen today, or this is going to happen this week, or, ooh, we have a thunderstorm, and you actually have big, beautiful thunderclouds and lightning and rain and storms. California, not so much. How many cats? I know. I don't know why. You know why I read cats? Because Roberta, when you typed it in, it gave a bracket instead of a P. And I don't know why I thought it looked like a T. That will hold the heat of your coffee much better than a regular coffee cup. Thank you. I do love it. And it's got, it's perfectly imperfect. And that's one of the things I love about it. When you have homemade things like this, like I can see where, it bows out a little bit more here than it does over here, because where she shaped it as it was going up the spinning wheel. Is that what you call it? Who knows anything about pottery? Is it a spinning? It's not a spinning wheel like what you do for yarn, but it's a flat spinny thingy. I would love to take a pottery class. Has anybody ever been to a pottery class where you throw the clay on and you do the clay? I would love to do that. It has a nice wide bottom too, so no worries about it tipping over. I too have a nice wide bottom, but I do tip over, and I'm going to be working on a video where I attempted this week. Lisa knows about this. So in our podcast that we have on Mondays, handmade pottery cups are much better compared to commercial. Turntable. There we go. What did I call it? A spinning wheel. It's a turntable, almost like a record player. So on our podcast for Round the Hay Bale, one of our hosts, Casey, says, "Hey, I want to do this fun little short. Can you all send me a little video of you guys saying hey? And I'll put it in together in this neat little compilation and we'll put it up." So I went outside and it was, I don't know, it was again a really bitterly cold day. And I did a couple of heys. Hey, hey. And I thought, wouldn't it be fun to just kind of like fall back and do a snow angel and do a hey? So I did my very best Anne Margaret impersonation from the movie Grumpy Old Men, and I need to learn how I can get little movie clips and then put them into a video because I have an idea for a little short that I want to do. But I just love how in Grumpy Old Men, Anne Margaret she just falls back into the snow and Jack Lemmon gets all worried, are you okay? And she starts making this glorious snow angel and she's just loving it and living in the moment, which is, what I do when I go out and play in the snow. And then Jack Lemmon goes, and he falls back. I mean, gosh, the man, how old was he? And he does a snow angel and they're both doing snow angels, having a great time. I thought, I'm just going to do a snow angel and that's going to be my hey moment. So I start to fall backwards. Lisa was like, "Oh gosh, what happened? You were going forwards. You were going backwards. I don't know what happened." I missed something funny. Anyways, I can't read it in the chat to go back. But so I started to fall backwards and I realized this isn't going well. You're kind of at that point of no return. So as I'm falling backward, I leaned forward because I thought I don't want to land flat on my back. So I leaned forward. And then I went through the snow, like 18 inches of snow, straight to my backside. And I felt all of the little vertebrae up my back just kind of go, and my neck went, and so I went right through the snow like a hot knife through butter on my backside first, and then fell back with my back and my head. And then, of course, my dog has to come up and try to lick me in the face. And I just kind of was stunned there for a little bit and I kept recording and everything's fine. Hey. But then it's like, how am I going to get up? I was here on the farm all by myself. I know it was stupid. And Lisa goes, you won't go down the slide up there when you went to the ice castles, but you'll do a snow angel. It's like, I know, I'm all here by myself. It is bitterly cold outside. I'm in enough of a snowdrift where like, even if I signal for help at the random car that comes by, I doubt they'd see me. And the dog, every time after I went off camera, every time I tried to sit up, the dog kept knocking me backwards, licking me in the face. I don't know if she was just overly worried or if she thought she wanted to play. Oh, so, I can't just like sit up and get up. Plus I've got an injured arm. And so I had to get up, roll over. Should I mention I was still in my pajamas? I put my cowboy boots on. So I didn't even have good shoes on, no socks. Because I just ran outside to make this quick, right? Pajama bottoms. And I did put a coat on and a hat. And I have gloves on, but I can't work my phone with the mittens. So they're the mittens that peel back so you have access to your phone. I need to get some of those mittens, not homemade ones, but I need to get the ones where they've got the pad where you can still work electronics. So I had to muster the strength to roll over in the snow. And so I'm 18 inches, like I'm up to my elbows in a snowbank. And I wore my cowboy boots, so they're slippery, so there's no footing for me to try to get my knees up underneath me to get up. My hands were frozen. The dog's knocking me down. I lost the phone in the snow. I know I'm going to die. Jim's going to come home, and he's going to find me like this, just frozen in a snowbank. Hey. I finally was able to get up, retrieve my phone, and I ran into the house. And as I was running into the house, I was just peeling the jacket off and the gloves and the hat. And I ran in, and I know you're not supposed to put your hands under hot water. So I ran some warm water to try to warm my fingers back up. And the rest of the day, I had a little bit of a headache. And so I've learned, I went outside yesterday and I took a video of where I landed, and it was the most god-awful, ugly snow angel you've ever seen in your life. So I'm going to put together a little video if I can figure out how to do it, of, Anne Margaret falling back and making this beautiful snow angel, and Jack Lemmon falling back and making this beautiful snow angel, and me falling flat on my tuchus, not gracefully, and then showing a picture of that snow angel going, it was an ugly snow angel anyway. I'm going to make it for a short. Fine, I take my nice comment back, Daz. Uh-oh. Play nice, boys. Now your clips adds to the story. They'll add to the story. They sure will. I would certainly be acting, Daz. Not many of us here are normal. I'm not normal. I am far from normal. So I will not be making any more snow angels. That was my snow angel quota bucket list, probably for the rest of my life. So I won't be doing that again. So I'm going to wait until like noon today before I even go out and attempt to feed the chickens, because it is still negative, really, really cold outside. Let's see, what is it right now? I know earlier before I went live, it was negative 14 was the actual temperature. And right now, if things will cooperate, let's see where we're at. And again, I'm not complaining. Don't anybody think that the country mama's complaining. I just like to share the info. If I were to go outside right now and feed my chickens, the wind chill is negative 20. And, we get these warnings that say you can get frostbite within 10 minutes to exposed skin. And I think it's quicker than that, because when I go out and feed those chickens, I try to scoop up the food as quick as I can and run out there and get it to them. And my fingers are so frozen. And that's with gloves before I even get back in. So, hello, everybody. I'm so glad that everybody's coming in, having your little chats and welcoming each other. And it's such a great community. So, one thing I wanted to do too, before I talk about my date weekend, which some of you have seen, little snippets of, I got some mail. So the first mail comes from Courtney over at Wide Family Farm. Oh, goodness. This envelope is chock full. Oh, she knows my heart. She sent me seeds for Mexican sunflowers. I was just discussing sunflowers in a video that's going to premiere next Thursday. Sunflowers. I love that. Thank you, Courtney. And she sent me a sticker for Wide Family Farm. That's awesome. Hello, Laura. And she's thanking me for sending her seeds in a card. And these are straight from her garden, Wide Family Farm. Thank you so much, Courtney. I will love those. I do love sunflowers. And then I got another envelope here, another little thing in the mail that came from Barb's Country Home. Oh, look at this beautiful sticker. Gosh, it makes my sticker feel so inadequate when I've got my little stickers. Look how beautiful that sticker is. Thank you, Barb. I'm going to add it to my file cabinet right here. You guys, I don't even know if you can really see what I've got going on over here. This is where I keep my crochet and everything. Look, I got Yogi right here. I have Boots and Bounty. I have Gail Southern Living, Coupon Gail, Hedgehog's Homestead. I put one up of myself because what fun is it if you don't have one of yourself? And then I've got some more to add, so I'll add these to that one as well. So thank you, Barb. I appreciate that. Oh, goodness. Everybody's saying their hellos and everything. They are really nice stickers from both. I'm very appreciative. And I got to get my Daz sticker up there because I have a Daz sticker. I got a little pile. I just need to get them on. They're actually in the top drawer of my file cabinet. That's where I decided, instead of doing a window, like Lisa has this great window where she puts all of her stickers on. And I didn't really have a place to put a window where it would be safe. And so I thought, what I really wanted to do, and I went out on a mission to find this, and I couldn't find it, but I thought it would be so clever and so unique, but I couldn't find it. I went to the thrift stores, and I really just wanted to find a mannequin leg. I really just wanted a mannequin leg, and I wanted to put the stickers all over the mannequin leg and then just kind of prop the mannequin leg in the corner for my lives. I really wanted to do that, but I couldn't find one. So I got that file cabinet, this metal file cabinet. So I thought I'll just put my stickers. Oh God, my feet are freezing. I thought I'd put the stickers on the metal file cabinet, and then inside the file cabinets where I keep my business cards, my stickers, my little Rolodex where I'm supposed to try to remember everybody's names, but I'm failing miserably at doing that. And all of the cards that people send me, they're all in there. So it's kind of like YouTube Central right there. And I just need to get the rest of my stickers put on. So, but I do appreciate the stickers. I think they're awesome. I really, really love them. So, today I'm going to be working on my video that hopefully I will be able to put up tomorrow, where Papa Jim and I went up to Minnesota and we had a date night at the ice castles. And this is just this big, huge park with man-made icicles that turn into these big icicle castles. And I did a live, and I thought, there's what I want to do is I want to take some footage that we actually shot during the day, during the daytime, and some of the video from the nighttime live. And I'm going to marry those two together and just do a little, like maybe a little 7-8 minute video. And that way, if anybody searches on YouTube for ice castles in Minnesota, maybe they'll get to see my little clip and they can say, oh, that's the place where I want to go. Because that's kind of how I stumbled upon it. I stumbled upon it from a YouTube post or a Facebook post. And so then I looked it up on YouTube and I saw the fun people were having. It's like, okay, now I need to go there. So hopefully it will be beneficial to people who aren't even familiar with me to just say, oh, this person went to it. I wonder if it's worth going. And I can say, yes, it is. It was a wonderful, wonderful time. Can't wait to see it. Thank you, Roberta. Good morning, Gwen. Okay, so that's what's on the agenda for that. And then next Thursday is when I have a video dropping where I tell everybody how we found our homestead. And some of you have heard the story before, and I finally put it to video about the vision board that I made and how the vision board came to fruition. And it's either, I don't care how you want to look at it, it's a God thing, it's a magical, mystical thing, it's a universe thing, it is a self-imposed, oh gosh, what's the word I'm looking for? It's like I picked up the ball and I ran with it. So, I'm going to give God the credit. I'm going to give myself some credit. I'm going to give Papa Jim some credit because we're the ones who brought it to fruition. But it was amazing how every element on my vision board has come to fruition. And so I wanted to share that with everybody. So watch for that video next Thursday. So let's see what else has been happening. I had some things to talk about. I'm a brain fried. I was in my jammies a little while ago in another live, and it's like, I don't even know if I'm going to shower. If you guys notice, my hair is not done. It's not curled. I like to come on and have my makeup done and my hair curled, but not today. I did manage to run upstairs and take a shower. Obviously, I'm not going to bathe where everything's frozen in the laundry room. So I went upstairs and I really almost didn't do that. I almost just put a hat on like I did last time. I was just going to come on in a hat because it's so cold. Because when we're mostly main floor living now, and so we don't really heat the upstairs that much. We do have one heat vent in the old bathroom up there, and it was still going. So I thought, I don't even know if I want to risk taking a shower because I'll come out and my hair will be frozen. But luckily enough, the water was nice and warm and the heat was just enough to where I could, jump out and run back downstairs and not freeze. But I didn't have time to do my hair. You can smell me from here. I know you said earlier, you told me I didn't have to take a shower because nobody's going to be able to smell me. But, oh, did I look a mess? So I just needed to at least wash my hair. I need to dye it again. I used to work with a girl. I remember she was younger than me. She probably could have been old enough to be my kid, And I was working with her one day, and I'd like to say she was sweet as could be, but every once in a while she'd throw out these little passive aggressive little jabs, and you're just kind of. But one day she was just sitting there and she's working in the desk next to me and she just stopped. She goes, I can't do it anymore. I said, what? What's wrong? She goes, your roots distress me. What? She goes, your roots. You need to dye your hair. Your roots distress me. Really? She goes, I can't handle it. You need to dye your hair. It's like everything that we're dealing with work, which was a very stressful job. You're distressed over my roots? Really? We might be going to litigation over a case, but my roots distress you? I'm glad it was a nice little distraction for her, I guess. Hello, Brenda. And I said hi to Scott. I think I've said hello to everybody that's come in and said good morning. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up, guys. So I just remember, I mean, that was years ago. It's been 12 years ago that she told me that my roots distressed her. And I thought, gosh darn, life must be pretty good if that's really all you've got to complain about is your coworkers' roots distressing you. But I think about that every once in a while when I say, oh, my roots are getting distressing. I need to dye them. And I wasn't even gray then. I still just had like ash blonde hair then. Good morning, Danny. I'm glad you're able to jump on in. So I think this week when it warms up just a little bit, I'll probably dye my hair again and get that pretty little magenta red going again. Because, you know, I love it. This is more like a rose gold as it washes out, but I'll get that going again. So let's see. I'm going to share something I started 2 weeks ago, and I didn't have time to thoroughly prepare for it today, but I started 2 weeks ago, started with the letter A, and I'm on B today. Last week, I couldn't do what I wanted to do because I didn't have good internet. We almost didn't have internet for almost a whole week. It was distressing. That's the word of the day. Ding, ding, ding. Distressing. Good morning. So I'm going to share a page of a channel that I wanted to promote today for B. So let's see if I can find it. And we're just going to pull it up real quick. And here we go. Bland's Promised Land Ranch. If you're not familiar with Bland's Promised Land Ranch, please go on over, check them out, subscribe, watch a couple videos, and give them some thumbs up if you like their content, which I'm sure you will. They're very lovely, great family. They're at 721 subscribers, so let's push them a little bit closer to that 1K mark, and I think you will thoroughly enjoy them. If you stop by and watch those videos, leave them a comment, make sure you tell them that Country Mama sent you over. So good morning, Major. Salute. Glad you're here. So go on over, check out Bland's Promised Land Ranch. You know, this morning I was able to hop on into E3 Farmstead. They had, I think it's Recliner Rants, got to hop in there and say hello to everybody. But then I was also able to just kind of hop into Ava Potterfield, and she really has a nice little coffee chat going in the morning. So I was able to pop in. I've popped in a few times before. I don't have her page pulled up or anything. But that's a nice little coffee morning. And this morning she was drinking the most delicious sounding coffee. I must get my hands on some. And good morning, Benz. Welcome. She was having, you know, the chocolate covered cherries that you get at Christmas time. I think they're called Cellos. You know, chocolate covered cherries have been a Christmas tradition in this family for almost 40 years. It was started by my best friend's mom. Every Christmas, everybody got their own little box of chocolate covered cherries. So I carried on her tradition when she passed away. We were doing it. Well, I didn't have to do it while she was alive because she did it for everybody. She passed away at the age of 56. So her daughter and I, we just kind of had to pick up the traditional ball and run with it. And so I started making sure that everybody, you know, in our local family got their chocolate covered cherries every year for Christmas. And my boys got them, the local boys here. I didn't ship any out this year, but my boys got them and my daughter-in-law's got them and Papa Jim got a box, but I didn't get a box because I'm behaving myself. Oh, hello, Monica. Did you see I just promoted you? Did you see I just shared your channel with everybody? Just to say hello and for them to come on over. Those chocolate covered cherries are a weakness for me. Love the sweets. Roberta, me too. They are a huge weakness for me. I love them. You know, it used to be that every year at Christmas, Papa Jim and I would each get a box or two. And I'd love to hit the after Christmas sales when you can get them for like $0.25 a box. So we'd always have them. And if we were sitting here watching TV or something like, you want some cherries? It's like, sure. And he'd pop open a box. And I mean, you pop them in your mouth and You just burst them open. So good, so good. And you can't just have one. You have to have, like, he would have a flat and I would have a flat. We would share one box. But I didn't get any for myself this year because I behaved myself. For those of you who know, I am behaving myself. Pat on the back. But Ava Potterfield was having coffee this morning. It is the actual company, Cello, Cellos, Cellos, chocolate cherry coffee. And she had some this morning during her live. And I thought, I need to have that in my life. I've got to have it. So I'm going to order some and then we'll see how that goes. We'll have it here on a live one morning. I'll let you guys know how it is. She said it is very, very delicious and she didn't even have cream with it. And she said it wasn't bitter because she thought, sometimes when you have coffees that have chocolate in it, it's a little bitter, but she said it was not bitter. So now you want some chocolate covered cherries. I do too. I want some so bad, but I'm not going to. I am going to do a video though on a really neat little mug cake that I learned how to make that I can have because it's low in sugar and it's delicious. So I'm going to do that when I get done with my live today. I will be assaulting my hair with my bendy stick curlers and getting my hair all done because I'm going to go in the kitchen today. I'm going to do some videos. So today I'm going to do my onion broth and some French onion soup and maybe that mug cake. And maybe for lunch, I'll try to make some chaffles. I have big ambitions, don't I? Already talking about 4 of them. You're not sleeping well. Chocolate cherry coffee. Where from? Grace and Fire wants to know. It's the actual company that makes them. I know there's a couple companies that make them. Let me see if I can look it up real quick and screen share. Let me see what I can find. Okay, so I've got something pulled up here from Amazon so I can show it to you. It's $12.99 for a bag, but she said it was really good. Cellas, not Cellos. Sorry, guys. So let me see if I can share that so you guys can see it because it is yum delicious. It's amazing how many little buttons you have to hit to get to where you want to be. Okay, there it is. Yum, yum, yum. Cella's chocolate cherry flavored coffee. I have not checked out the nutritional information on it. I'm not even sure if it's something that I can have. Oh, it says limited edition. I better get some while I can. I'm going to have to let Papa Jim know that I want some of this because it looks like it is seasonal. And it is gluten-free for anybody who's wondering about that. But, he gets his special coffee, so I think I'm going to have to get me some special coffee too. That's going to be on my list to add to my new mug. So thank you to Ava Potterfield over at her channel for mentioning that this morning. Somebody's got TMI going on. I've always got TMI going on. I don't know what's going on. Jessie, you have a great face for radio is what she means. Somebody said that's what she said. Oh, I missed a good joke somewhere because we've got some that's what she said jokes going on. I love me some that's what she said jokes. You're welcome, Grace and Fire. Oh, look. Monica is being very, very loving this morning. So nice. And thank you to any mods that are dropping links for people that they're asking for them. I would appreciate that. Who's behaving themselves? Gosh, I hate when I miss the chat because you guys are just really having some good times over there. Oh, so anyways, you guys know we're doing this piñata stuffing thing because we're going to be going on a trip. And I've already threatened Lisa over at Yogi Hollow Farm that if we end up in her neck of the woods, I'm going to have a challenge. And it's not necessarily even it's not like make a video challenge, but we will make a video out of it if we do it. But it is a challenge that you can find on YouTube. And it's one I'm going to do. If I end up going close to Lisa, I'm going to do it. If I end up going down closer to where my other friend is, if we end up in Branson or in Nashville, I'm going to make her do it. She's aware of it though. So I don't know. Do I still have Lisa in here? Lisa, can you hear me? Oh, Dad, your son had a nightmare. I'm sorry. I said not to worry. That's just Alicia. You can. Daz, I'm the nightmare of many. Trust me. Oh, I'm the nightmare of many. I'll just leave it at that. Anyways, so the more I try to find out about things to do in certain locations where I want to go, I check things out on YouTube. I try to find channels that list interesting places where to go. And I found a new interesting place. I know I keep hinting at a challenge for you, Lisa, don't I? I don't want to give too much of it away. I probably should tell you though, because I want to make sure that you're equally as prepared so that you can't say that I had the upper hand on it. So Lisa, I'm going to tell you, if I end up in your neck of the woods, and even if you don't have this particular location where you live, I'm sure we will find something similar. But I want you to look up the Goodwill $10 challenge, because that's what you're in for. If I show up at your place, we're going to find a little spot, thrift store, Goodwill, whatever, and we're going to do the $10 challenge. And here's the caveat to the challenge. You got to be up for it. How it works is, and there's a couple ways that we can do it, but this is how I've explained it to my girlfriend down in Nashville, that if we end up down this way, this is what we're going to do. If we end up in Nashville or if we end up in Branson, they're going to join us because they're saving up in a pretzel jar. They're saving up for a trip as well. So I said, well, when we're there, we're going to do the Goodwill challenge. And she's like, what's that? And I said, oh, you're in for it. You have no idea. So what it is all four of us are going to take a trip to the thrift store. I'm going to pop some tags. Only got $20 in my pocket, but we're going to do 10, maybe 20. We'll see how expensive it is where we end up. And I think we might just draw names. And as long as we don't draw our own name or our spouse. So I need to either buy for her husband or buy for her. And she's either going to buy for me or buy for my husband, vice versa, spread it around. Lather, rinse, repeat. And I'm going to take my $10 and I'm going to purchase her outfit for the day. And after we purchase the outfit and she dons it, then we have to go to dinner, and she has to go to dinner in whatever I buy for her. So I think it is going to be a lot of fun. Hello, Sleeping Collectibles. Hello, Free Handley. So Lisa, this is what you're in for. If we end up over at your place, we're going to have to go to a thrift store and I'm going to buy your dinner outfit. Now, my friend says, oh, that's easy enough. I know what you like to wear. I'll find you something to wear. I'll find you a cute shirt or something. I said, oh, no. My goal is to find you a snorkel mask, some flippers, and a wedding dress. And we're going to go to dinner and you're going to wear a wedding dress and just the mask. You don't have to put the snorkel in your mouth, and flippers. And that's what you're wearing to dinner. And she's like, oh my God. I said, I know, right? And if they've got some Halloween outfits out, I mean, could you imagine maybe with the wedding dress, maybe like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles backpack? I got to put her in a fanny pack at least. And so I'm already starting to think about what I'm going to do. So, and because, pants can sometimes be nasty. For her, I'm either going to go with a skirt or a dress, because we're not going to be able to probably launder these things before. It's like get in the dressing room, put it on, we're going to dinner, and it's just going to be fun. And I think it's going to be hysterical. I'm waiting for, my daughter does that on her dates and they have so much fun, right? I think it's going to be fun. If I do it with Papa Jim before we get a chance to do this with either Lisa or my friend Debbie, I can't wait to throw him into something hysterical. The great thing is, for me, I don't know about for Lisa, but the great thing is I'll just do that and I never have to see these people again because I don't live there. But if we do it where Lisa lives, people might be, wasn't that the lady that was in that fairy costume with a 10-gallon hat and golf shoes over at the diner the other day with that weird lady? Yes, it is. So, a fanny pack. Oh, a fanny pack. Yes, because nothing from Goodwill is going on me without being washed at all. Okay, well then we can make plans to buy, launder, then go to dinner. If I throw the launder in, because see, if I go to Branson, of course, if I get an Airbnb, I might have a place to wash clothing. But if I go to Branson, I don't know if I'll have a place to wash. If I go to Tennessee, I'll have a place to wash the clothes. But I just think it would be fun. And so, if you've ever seen any of those challenges, that's one way to do it, is to like buy for somebody. Another way to do it is, and this is the way I think I want to try it this way with Jen too, is you start at the end of a rack and whoever's recording you says go, and you walk and you're actually touching the edge of the clothing as you walk, and they say stop. Okay, we'll launder them, Lisa. We will. And when you say stop, you have to take the shirt that your hand is on when you stop. And I don't care how hideous it is, as long as it fits, that's what you're wearing. And then you do it for either pants or skirt. And then I won't do shoes. Although I will get her either flippers or maybe some golf shoes. Bowling shoes would be awesome. Could you see her in a wedding dress with a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle backpack, a fedora, and maybe bowling shoes or golf shoes, or the flippers? That's the best part. Anyway, you walk, and then when somebody says stop, you grab it. So I saw this lady do one. She did pants, shirt, hat, and purse. And so she got those items, and she got all dressed up, and they went out. It was funny. She's freaking out. Well, be sick that week you're visiting, Alicia. Come on, live a little. I won't make you do snow angels. I mean, that's the good thing. Gotta live a little. It'll be fun. That would be a hard pass for you, Rochelle? Oh, come on. I know that if I ever end up in Texas, Monica's doing it with me. Grace and Fire says, I purchased a jacket once for $10, and when I got home, I found a $20 bill in the pocket. Whoop, whoop. Absolutely. Maybe I'm a party pooper, but no, it's not my thing. It's not for. I grew up with thrift store stuff and hand-me-down stuff, and so that doesn't bother me. I do like to launder them first. I just don't know how I would handle that being in a different location, how you'd get it laundered. But if you wear an undershirt or something, I think it would be okay. Whenever Eric doesn't want to do something, he says he's working or planning to be sick. Roberta would do it. So, okay, so we will modify it so that if I do end up over at Lisa's, it will be Lisa friendly, and we'll see about, popping things in the wash. But I have a suspicion if I found her a really funky shirt to wear, she'd throw it in the wash, and then when I'm not looking, she'd take a seam ripper or scissors and say, oh no, it fell apart in the wash. All right, Monica, if I plan a trip to down to your area, we're going to do it. I wear thrift stuff all the time. It's the whole joke dressing up and going out thing. You know what, Rochelle, I used to say you only live once, but my sister-in-law reminded me you only die once. You got every day to choose something to do to live. I'm the type of person where I photobomb pictures when I'm out with people. I join their family reunions when I'm out. I do crazy, wacky things, and I just think life's too short. We went to the Pella Tulip Festival, and I got out in the middle of the street and I danced with all of the people in their little wooden shoes. It's just fun. If you're in London, you've got a place to stay. Major, salute you. I'm wearing thrift store clothing right now. I want to do the challenge. You know what, Grace and Fire? If I end up near you, I'm going to do that too. The sweater that I've got wrapped around my feet is thrift store. I think this is thrift store. What I've been doing lately is when I go to the thrift store, I find the fleece blankets and I bring them home so the dogs have something to lay on. So that's good. Just laugh and go with it. Lisa would have a blast. She would. She sang, she danced, she'd have fun with it. We just got to get her past the whole washing thing. It'll be good. Rochelle photo bombs. She's not shy. She just you don't find it funny. Okay. Well, you can laugh at me. Your sister speaks pearls of wisdom. Yep. Because I remember it's when we were at the Pella Festival, when we were at the Tulip Festival, and I was thinking about jumping up and dancing with people out in the streets. And I turned to my sister, I said, "You only live once." And she said, "No, you only die once. You live every day." Huzzah! And I ran out and I danced with everybody. I shared my photobomb photo with you at a gala. Yes. Official photos for a large nonprofit. They were all photobombed. It was awesome. We should do a challenge where we find some thrift store outfits and post pics. I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to do it. Now that Lisa knows that the cat's out of the bag, I think I'm going to plan it. I actually kind of, I went to the thrift store Friday because, and I'll follow up on this so you guys know that it does work. I have a hairball. And it's difficult for me because sometimes it sends me into an asthma attack because I kind of get a little psychosomatic over it because I'm afraid I'm going to choke. Okay. So I went to the thrift store, and this is what I want to touch on first is I went and I got a little crock pot. I didn't get the large crock pot, and I didn't get the little simmer crock pot. I got kind of like a medium crock pot. Because, and I was sharing this with Lisa a couple weeks ago, somebody dumped a cat out here at the farm. We get that a lot. It's not just, especially with these temperatures, I highly doubt that it's something that has roamed from miles away and just found itself here at the farm. She's not feral. She's friendly. So somebody's dumped a cat out here, and we get that a lot out here at the farm. So we've got a new little calico kitty. She's female. She's very sweet. We've dewormed her. We've got her. She was living in one of the outbuildings, and then she would come up every night when Jim would get home and he would feed her. He started feeding her. And, but she walked into his workshop one night when he went down there. He says, "Well, I guess she's my shop cat now." So he fixed her a box. He's got some blankets in it for her, and she sleeps in there. And he fixed her up a makeshift little kitty litter box because he's got kitty litter down there for oil spills and such. And she's using it. She's litter box trained. And he says, "But I don't know what I'm going to do for water." We've had some robberies here rurally lately. So he's locking his shop. So he says, "It's not like I could just leave the door cracked so she can go in and out, so she can come in and get warm, but then go back out when she needs to." He says, "But I don't know what I'm going to do for water." And I said, "Well, I'll get this little crock pot." And he goes, "Won't the water be too hot?" I said, "Well, we're going to find out." So I got this little crock pot, and she loves it. It just keeps it a really nice lukewarm on the low setting. It doesn't freeze, so we don't have to worry about her water freezing. And she's drinking like 3/4 of it every day. She's drinking her water, using her kitty box, and just living the good life out in the shop. And she's his little shop kitty now. So have a face, just a quickie. Major, I do quickies. We could do a quickie. My email is on my about page. You can email me. We'll see about putting something together on the calendar for you. So if you hear or see these things, and I should probably do a video on it, if you hear or see these things on Facebook or Instagram where people are saying if it's cold for your chickens or your dogs, you can get an old crock pot. I've had several people voice the same concern that Papa Jim had. Won't it get too hot? It doesn't. And I mean, the shop is not insulated, but it is protected from those winds. But I mean, if the temperature is -15 right now, it's got to be at least that cold in that shop. And her water is not frozen, and it's not too hot for her to drink, and she's loving it. So if you see that for your chickens or your dogs, it does work. Make sure you check the wiring. We don't want a whole, jack burning the house down. I do a good quickie. It's true. It is true. So when I was at the thrift store, I did that Goodwill thing where I put my hand on the rack and I walked, and I told myself to stop. I wasn't looking, told myself to stop, and my hand landed on something, and I picked it up. It's like, oh God, that's hideous. But I would wear it out to dinner just for a good laugh. When we were in Oklahoma, a friend of mine had, she and her husband had fallen upon some wonderful times in their life. They actually literally, and I mean quite literally, struck gold. Struck liquid gold. They struck oil down in Oklahoma. They went in with a whole bunch of business partners and they drilled a well and they struck oil. And to celebrate, she got in touch with a lot of us that all went to high school. And she said, hey, come on out. We're going to have this big party. And so we all flew out. She paid for everything. And we were at this store. She says, everybody buy pajamas. We're all going to buy pajamas. And I picked out this. I put my hand, not at Goodwill, but at a very expensive store. I put my hand on a hanger and I picked it up and I thought, oh, this is pretty. She goes, oh, you've got to get that. She goes, you've got to get that. And then I looked at the price tag and just the pajamas were $300. It's like, oh no. She goes, you are, and you're getting the matching robe. And she threw it in a cart. And I told him, I said, we cannot let these pajamas go to waste. We all need to wear our pajamas to dinner. And everybody thought I was absolutely insane. But everybody ended up buying pajamas for dinner. And they had like a limo bus. It's like a limo van, like a party bus. And we all piled in this party bus in our pajamas. And we went to a Japanese teppanyaki grill. And all of us come running into this Japanese teppanyaki grill in our pajamas. And we did sake shots, suki, oi, oi, oi. So we did sake, and we had our teppanyaki dinner. We had a blast. We had people coming over to photobomb us because they had to be part of it. And the thing is I never have to see those people again, but we had so much fun. If we just would have gone to dinner, we would have gone to dinner, and maybe you'd remember the dinner. But I guarantee you everybody in our party that night remembered that dinner because we were all in our jammies. And I guarantee you there are probably some servers or some people that bombed us that they remember that day as well, because we had 20 people in pajamas at a Japanese steakhouse. And then we left there. We all piled up in the limo and we went to an adult store. So we all went running into this adult store in our pajamas. It really was like an episode of Jackass. And then we went, I think we went to a Halloween costume store and ran in there and ran around. And then we went to a bar and we just, you know what? We had so much fun in our pajamas, and they weren't risque pajamas by any means. It was just a lot of fun. If I spent that on PJs, I'd never take them off, right? I wore those suckers till they were threadbare. Bring me some wine and don't get sake. We need to do a thrift store challenge to do with all of our channels and post it. You could say, go, 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 stop. Where we land is what we buy, and then post on YouTube. That would be fun. Great. Grace and Fire. Let's do it. Grace and Fire. I'm going to try to, I couldn't find your channel. I wanted to join your channel the other day and I could not find it. I don't know why I had so much trouble. I kept getting a band. I don't know. You can use them to heat up the greenhouse a little bit, the crock pots. That is good. So, you know, as you guys get to know me, you know, I'm just a nut. I do crazy things like that all the time. Don't tempt me with a good time, because I'll do crazy things like that. So what I'm hoping is, if I do end up in Branson and my girlfriend comes up from Branson, that we hit a thrift store there. I've already looked up all the thrift stores online to see where I think would be the best one to go. And we're going somewhere we're going to go somewhere like Guy Fieri's grill or something, or maybe Paula Deen's grill. And we're just going to go, and I'm going to make her look ridiculous, and it's going to be a lot of fun. You're not banned. I made you a mod for when I decide to do a live. No, I don't think I'm banned. I just couldn't find you. So I need to work a little harder on that. Maybe email me the link or something. I couldn't find it. And I just don't know what the deal was, but I kept finding a band, not band like band. I kept finding a musical band, not that I'm banned. Okay, let's clarify that. But you know, I've done silly things. Like I remember one time I had gone, I got this great deal one time. I got this great deal to take a bus trip to Vegas. This is when we lived in Southern California. Thank you, Scott, for doing that. Oh, welcome, Grafted Branch Homestead. I didn't see you pop in. I'm sorry. Hello. And if I've missed anybody else, I apologize, because, you know, once I start talking, I can't shut up. Anyways, I found this great deal for this bus trip to Vegas, and it was like to State Line Vegas, but I couldn't pass it up because it was only $5 So for $5, you got the tour bus, and it was a pretty fancy bus. You get on the tour bus and they drive you all the way up to Vegas, and you got a ticket for the buffet for free. And you got $5 in gambling money. And who wouldn't go? Because they want, I know that it's sponsored by the casinos because they're hoping you'll spend more money. They want these truckloads or these busloads of people to come up and spend money. Should come to London, Regent Street and Oxford Street, Soho, right up your street, so to speak. Thank you, General. You just popped in and you're happy to be here. I'm happy you're here too. Welcome. Let me tell a little story about a man named Jed. Poor mountaineer barely kept his family fed. Then one day he was shooting some food, and from the ground came a bubbling crude. That's pretty much how they were, because she grew up just as poor as I did. And then all of a sudden, they were richer than Davy Crockett. Anyways, so I bought 2 tickets to go on this bus trip. And I had a friend that lived down there. She didn't work during the day, so she was able to go with me. So let's go on this bus trip up to Vegas. We'll have a good time. And we weren't very far into the trip when I found myself sneaking up to the front of the bus, and they had, every once in a while the driver would pick up one of those little things and say, "Thank you for being on the bus today, Bird. This is our destination. And we anticipate in getting into State Line at such and such time, and, enjoy your ride," and whatever. Well, I snuck up there and I said hello to the bus driver. He's like, "Hi." I said, "Can I use your microphone?" He's like, "Okay." And I just started slinging jokes. And I had people laughing, and we were doing fun things on the bus. And, then I was like, "Thanks, everybody. See you up there in the casino. We're going to have a great time." And I had some people say, "Do you work for the tour company?" "No." "Well, then why'd you do that?" "Because I felt like it." Just do it. But sometimes I have to be careful that it doesn't get me in trouble. I think those things, they pick up a call to call passengers. When we were up at the ice castles, I was talking to people, because I'm just social. I'm a social butterfly that way. And I don't know if you guys saw the live where I told a joke and people behind me started laughing, and I turned around, I was like, "Hey, you want to be on YouTube?" And we're laughing. And I said, if I would have known my jokes were going to get that good of a response, I'd been telling jokes the whole time and just having a good time and everything. And they just got I don't want to say they got familiar with us. They were comfortable with us to the point where I was like, "Yeah, we got to keep moving because my husband's getting cold." And one guy pulls out a flask and says, "You need a nip? It's cold." And it's like, "No, we're good." But it was that comfortable. But then there was somebody else, and you have to think of all of the social tension that's been happening up in the Minneapolis, St. Paul over the last couple of years. So we haven't traveled up there in all this time because it made me nervous. But honestly, there wasn't anything at all that made me feel uncomfortable. But we were getting ready to leave, and there was a line of people that were waiting to get on one of the shuttle buses to take them to the parking lot. And there was this gentleman there, and he had glasses on, and he had a dessert. He had something in his hand, and it was warm enough that his glasses were all steamed up. And he's just kind of sitting there. He's blind to the world. He's all steamed up. And I walked up and I said, "Your glasses are awfully foggy." And he says, I know. I said, "I could snatch that dessert right out of your hands and you wouldn't even know it was me." And his wife gave me, "Girl, you best back off from my man," kind of a look. And I realized, I'm in a neighborhood where people just don't always like it when you just walk up and start talking to them. And I might have got a smackdown. I don't know. Bye, Monica. Just because you can. That's why I do it, because I can. And after a cancer diagnosis, I realized I need to do more things like that, because that's my new motto. I picked it up from the ice castles because they had it on their page. Time is precious, waste it wisely. So I want to make memories. I want it to be when I die and everybody comes around for the little party I've got planned here on the farm. I'm going to be planted with a lilac tree. I want everybody to say, "Do you remember when she did this? Do you remember that? Oh my gosh, do you remember when she did that?" I just want it to be that way. I want it to be where people remember. I hate when people act like it's weird to talk to people in public. I know, right? We should be able to talk to people. That was one thing I didn't like about where I lived before in Southern California, is like when you drive or when you walk, it was like this. It had gotten to the point in Southern California where you don't look at the person next to you when you're driving, because you don't know if they're going to pop you. You don't know if there's going to be some type of road rage. Hello, Yossi. But I grew up for years, I loved it when I lived in Southern California. If I was at a stop sign and I look over and somebody's rocking out to their music, I'm like, it doesn't matter what anybody's singing. It doesn't matter if you don't know the words to the song. If you mouth the words watermelon, it makes it look like you know what you're singing. And so I just like, watermelon, watermelon. And they'd roll the window down and we'd rock out. And then, the light turns green and you go on your happy way. So I've always been that way. And so I'm looking forward to doing more of these fun, crazy things. Oh, what started this whole conversation, because I just get off topic so much. I miss seeing everyone smile. Well, we've got at least one right here. And you know what? Exciting news, guys. Yossi got snow in Israel for the first time in his lifetime. And I did see footage on some news channels on YouTube. They got snow in Greece. And the men in Greece were like out in the streets dancing. It was so beautiful. So much fun. Phone. I missed what the phone was. Anyways, so I was looking, this is what kind of got me started on this whole thing. I was looking at alternate locations for maybe the next time we do something. And there's this like insane place in Wisconsin, and it is called House on the Rock. And it looks like somebody was on a really heavy duty LSD trip when they built this place, right? I mean, I think you have to imbibe a little bit before you go. Hello, Aunt Dale. Hello. So I want to go there at some point when I think my brain can handle it, because there's so much to look at. They have in the middle of this house, because the house is so massive, is like the world's largest carousel. They have a collection of royalty crowns, all this weird stuff in this house, right? So I was kind of looking at it and I thought, well, if we drive there, where would we stay? I found this really neat hotel, guys. I know it's one that would probably give some of you the heebie-jeebies, but I can go to a Holiday Inn any day, or a Regent, or a Radisson. I've stayed in some very fancy hotels, and I've stayed in a Motel 6, but I've never stayed in a motel like this. I've looked at them before. When we lived in California, there was one I wanted to go to. You've been there, Grace and Fire? Wear good shoes. I would. It looks like there's a lot of walking. So there is this hotel within distance of getting to the House on the Rock. And they have themed rooms. And the first theme room I saw was like, I got to stay there. I've got to stay there and then bring it to you guys in a video. You walk in, it's the Northern Lights room. All of the walls are painted like you're up in Antarctica. And in the middle of the room is an igloo. Okay, it's not made out of ice, but it's an igloo with a polar bear, stretched out across the top of it. And you have to stoop down and walk into the polar bear. And when you stand back up, there's this big round bed in the middle of the igloo, not the polar bear, the igloo. And so your bed's inside of an igloo, and it's got all these lights like Northern Lights. And they've got this big, huge jacuzzi tub that looks like it's in this big pile of snow. And I thought, I need to stay in that room. And so I started looking at some of the other rooms. There's other rooms I'm like, no big deal. I mean, like they've got rooms that's like the casino room. I've been to Vegas enough. I don't need to go stay in a casino room. I know what that's like. And like Caesar's Palace room, I don't need to do that. They have another one that I'm very interested in. And it's actually there's two more. There's a 2-story room. And when you walk into the room, you're on the upper story. And right when you walk in, you're greeted with this big, huge, like hot air balloon. And you walk down these steps to where the gondola is for the hot air balloon. And that's where the bed is. The bed is inside the gondola for the hot air balloon. And see, I know Papa Jim's not even going to watch this, so he doesn't know what I'm going to throw at him later when I plan this trip, and it's going to be a surprise for him. I think you missed it above. Laura Hedgehogs asked for prayer. They all have, oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Laura. And yes, I did miss that. Thank you for bringing that to my attention, Tim. I appreciate that. So yes, we will all keep you all in prayers and positive thoughts. I hope that everybody feels well soon. Hopefully it's not, it's just that lighter variant that's just like a really, really, really bad cold. But I'm sorry to hear that. Please keep us updated and let us know how you're doing. Thank you, Tim, for telling me about that. But so you sleep inside the basket for the balloon, and the balloon is above your head, this hot air balloon. And then they've got another big jacuzzi where it's like you're in the Alps, and the water for the jacuzzi actually comes out of the rocks. I don't know. Grace, have you ever heard of this place, Grace and Fire? And then there's a third room that I thought really interested me. And that was, it's like the lunar landing for the moon. And it's another 2-story room. And when you walk in, it's all kind of like scientific sci-fi. It's like you're on the surface of the moon. And then there's these big pile of rocks, and you climb up the stairs and around these rocks. And the bed is like in a lunar landing module. So you're up above, and like there's a jacuzzi below the module, and there's like an astronaut hanging from the ceiling. Oh, Christmas Mountain. See, now I'm going to have to look up Christmas Mountain too. So many hot air balloons fly over my house almost every day in New Mexico here. They are really cool to see. You know, Grafted Branch, when we lived in Southern California, we lived in wine country, and the balloons would go out every morning. I just love them. They're just so magical and beautiful. Am I going to go into a hot air balloon? Probably not. I have a fear of heights, but I'll sleep in one at some kitschy 1970s hotel. I'll do it. So now you want to go. I think it'd be fun. And then, okay, so this is a hotel that was built where there used to be like a World War II airstrip. And like somebody just ditched this big cargo plane that used to carry, you know, that it's got the mesh seats, the like the parachute strap seats all along where the airmen would sit before they jump out the door. It's this old plane. It just kind of got left there when they shut it down as an airstrip, so you can go inside of this old plane and look at all the instrumentation and just kind of tour that. And then I heard that they have a restaurant that's a ways down, but you can either go out in the parking lot and get your car and go over to the restaurant, or you can even go out in the parking lot and walk down to the restaurant, or probably a C-130. I'll sleep in one of those on the ground, right? Christmas Mountain was a cabin resort, not cool like that. You know, I love cabin resorts. I'll do that too. But this is like I said, you can go anywhere you go in your travels, you can stay in a hotel. But where are you going to go and sleep in a lunar capsule or a hot air balloon? Okay, so like there's mirrors on the walls, and who knows what happens in there, but I'm still going to risk it because I think it's fun. Oh gosh, what was I saying? Oh, the airplane is just left there, and rumor has it that the very last person to actually, how's that work? That doesn't work that way. I'm going to have to check into this rumor, because I don't know when the hotel was built, and I don't know when that plane was last flown, and I don't know when this airstrip was officially closed down. But the rumor is that the last person that actually flew in that plane was Farrah Fawcett. Okay, you perked Tubby's interest. He wants to go. You're speaking his language. Right? I just think it's fun. You know, some of the funnest places we've ever stayed are just like little hole in the wall, off the beaten path places that you just don't anticipate. And there was one time that hubby and I just got in the car one day. We'd actually driven to Loma Linda Children's Hospital because we wanted to plan our route to that hospital because our granddaughter was having surgery. And he's on the website right now. Don't look at the medieval room. Don't do it. I won't be staying there. But So we drove to Loma Linda Children's Hospital just to see what our time was going to be for driving when our granddaughter had surgery. And just on a whim, he said, let's just drive to the beach and watch the sunset. Okay. So without a bag, without our toothbrushes, without anything, we called the kids and said, take care of the dogs. We're going to go to the beach and watch the sunset. So we drove to the beach and we went to Long Beach and we just sat and we watched the cruise ships go in and out and we watched the sunset and it was so great. And we were just driving. It's like, let's find a hotel. All hotels were booked. There was no place to stay. But there was this little rinky-dinky little like motel across from the beach that had like little casitas. They were very rundown, very old. Let's go there. And the rooms were super reasonable. And, it's one of the most memorable nights that we had away from the house because it was just so quaint and so little. And it was right across the street from the beach. So we went out and walked the beach at nighttime. When we came back, they had a bundle of firewood right outside of our door. And they had like a 1970s. Remember the 1970s? Big round orange wood burning fireplaces. Remember those? It had one of those. And so we built a fire. And you know what? We thoroughly just enjoyed the getaway at this little, I can't even tell you what the place is named, but I remember it. I remember it thoroughly. We had a wonderful time. And I think one of the things I remember the most is when we took our walk on the beach, we found like this sand dune and things are getting a little romantic on the sand dune. And then a helicopter showed up and did its spotlight thing. And then we had to run back to the hotel. But he said they all have a jacuzzi. We stayed at a haunted hotel and have a ghost story involving a jacuzzi in our room. I stayed at a haunted place one time. I tell you what I do now too. I do this. You guys need to do this. When I go on my adventures, I'm going to do this and I'm going to show you guys how I do it. But because one place I stayed at, did I finish my last story? Anyways, it was a really great place that we stayed. We got up in the morning and we went out and we sat on a little table with the beach right across from us. I mean, it was literally just right across the road, and we listened to the surf come in, and they served us this little continental breakfast. It was perfect. And I guarantee you, I remember it more than anybody who stayed at the Radissons, with their fancy breakfast, and so great. I love little things like that. Were the bedspreads from the 1970s? Probably, but anytime I go to any hotel, I throw those on the floor anyways. I don't sleep with those up around my neck. But, the hotel where we stayed at on this other trip, I like to, and I've already done it for this hotel, and you get your good reviews and you get your bad reviews. And I think it's what you make out of it. Can't stop laughing. You nearly fell out of your chair, Major. Where is that airplane located? Okay. So the name of the place is the Don Q Inn. I don't remember what the name of the city is, but it's in Wisconsin, the Don Q Inn. So Don, like Don Quixote, Don Q. But when I go somewhere, I like to go on TripAdvisor because I have an account and I leave my stuff too. I need to update it, by the way. But I like to read reviews. And I remember one time we went and we stayed on the Queen Mary. So I had all of the inside scoop about the rooms on the Queen Mary. And we did, the tourist trap little tours. Like you go down into the belly of the ship and it's haunted. So you go on this ghost tour in the bottom of the Queen Mary. And you read reviews and people are like, oh, it's kitschy, but it's fun and it's worth it. And you have other people like, really? Seriously? It was the most corny thing I've ever been on. There were no real ghosts. It's like, did you expect there to be? Of course it's corny. Of course it is. It's a touristy thing. You either enjoy it or you choose not to. And I thoroughly enjoyed our time on the Queen Mary because I learned things about it. And the same thing is about this place. You're going to get your reviews where people say, ooh, it's run down. It looks like it's from the 70s. God only knows what happens in this place. And you have people like, if you're looking to stay at a high class hotel, this is not the place for you. If you're looking for an experience and a throwback to the 1970s, then this is the place for you. So it's just all how you want to do it. You love things like what she said. It's in Dodgeville, Wisconsin. Yes. So, one of the things when we stayed on the Queen Mary, is when the Queen Mary was commissioned as a World War II transport ship and they would have soldiers on there, the soldiers would get bored and would play cards, right? But they didn't have any paper like to keep track if they were doing a card game that where you kept score like gin rummy or something. So they would take the drawers out of the furniture and turn the drawers upside down and they would keep score. So first thing I did when I got in the room is I took all the drawers out of the furniture and turned them upside down to see if I could find, writings from World War II from these soldiers. And I mean, enough people know about it. You find all these different things from people who have stayed there. So I added to it. I put that we were there for our anniversary and where we were from and, put Jim and Alicia and a heart. And I wrote on the furniture in the Queen Mary, turn the drawer back over and slid it in. And somebody will find that someday and say, oh, look, these people were here. So I do crazy things like that. Now we have a friend who said, oh, I want to go stay on the Queen Mary. And so she went to go stay on the Queen Mary with her husband. She goes, that was the most awful experience I've ever had in my life. It was horrible. Why? Oh, it was boring. And the rooms are small and this and that, negative, negative, negative. And it's so old. Well, it's an old ship. And there's only so many times you can walk around the ship. And I just got bored. It's like, you make of it what you want. You could either go there with the mindset of, I'm going to have a really fun time or not. Enjoy it or choose not to. You sound like your ex-wife. You can either have a lot of fun or you can just, I can be a participant in life or I can be a spectator. And I choose to be a participant. So she had a terrible time with her husband on the Queen Mary. I had a blast. I had learned enough about it. I had fun with all of the, kitschy stuff and everything. And I'll be doing a poll when the time comes if we're going to go there. And I'm going to have everybody on YouTube vote what room I reserve. Do I reserve the hot air balloon? Do I reserve the igloo with the polar bear? Or do I reserve the lunar landing and actually sleep on the moon? I mean, when are you going to get a chance to do that again? So I'll put it out there and I'll let you guys pick which room I get. Grafted, you do that. I'm sorry, I don't know your name, Grafted, and you can share it if you want. The dungeon. They have a cave one. They have one that's called Indian Summers, and you sleep in a teepee. All kinds of neat stuff. I remember the one I was looking at in California, they had a room of like clowns. And I remember my friend saying, I will not sleep in a room with a bunch of clowns. But there's all kind, I want to find kitschy stuff like that. That's like if I end up going to Mount Rushmore and we get to see Yogi Hollow Farm on the way, I'm stopping off where the Ingalls lived and I want to stay in the old bank that's been turned into a bed and breakfast. So that's what I know. I was going to tell you guys about this old hotel we stayed in. I'm going to tell you about what I do. So I got this idea. I had gone. We used to visit this place, Julian, California. It's an old gold mining town. And we used to go up there for day trips, buy an apple pie, maybe pick up a little bit of wine. Yeah, I don't know about a clown room either. Matt. Okay, thank you, Matt. I will try to remember, but my brain, if you only knew. I mean, I can remember that little hotel I stayed in, but I don't remember what I had for lunch yesterday. So many jokes there. That's unbelievable. I can't keep up. Yeah, joke away. I love them. If it weren't for the gutter, my mind would be homeless. That airplane is a Boeing C-97 airplane. And you're a plane that, hey, thanks for looking that up, Tim. Look up to see if Farrah Fawcett was really the last passenger on there. I'd like to know that. Anyways, so there's this hotel up in Julian, California. And I know when we would go up there to get pie or stop in for some wine tasting or something, I always admired this little hotel. And it's like, you can't even get in to talk to anybody. You have to have the pass code to get in. So it's like you can't even go and ask how much it costs for a room. But they did have little brochures. And I went online one time and it's like a little pricey, but I think it'll be worth it. And we actually booked a room for Thanksgiving one year, which was a lot of fun. And I've told you guys about this before because this is where I sat with the older couple that knew Laura Ingalls Wilder. Anyways, so I went on TripAdvisor and I started reading about the different rooms that are available so I would know which room to pick, because even though they're all set in the 1800s, they had different antique beds, different setups. I want a bed where I don't have to crawl over somebody to get out to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night. because some of the rooms were smaller and had that type of a setup. So there's this room, and I can't remember the name of it, but there's a hidden fireplace. And you had to follow the clues and find the clues to find the hidden fireplace. And it was like this treasure hunt. I was like, that's it. I gotta go. I gotta go in that room. So I booked that room. And, Jim's like, you want to go to dinner? It's like, heck no, we got to find that fireplace. I spent hours trying to find that fireplace. So, and I won't give away where the fireplace was in case anybody ever stays there. But it was so neat because on TripAdvisor, when you read TripAdvisor, they tell you the first thing is when you stay in this room, there's a secret journal. You have to find the secret journal and then follow the clues in the secret journal to find the hidden fireplace. I love things like this. So as soon as we get in the room, you open the drawers and you can't find the drawers. You can't find the journal in any of the drawers. A mystery room. Yes. Oh, so much fun. So eventually I opened up a drawer and I felt up underneath the drawer and it had two little brackets and there was this journal in there. And you take the journal out and it had a key where you could unlock to get the other journals, because as people add to the journals, they replace the journal once that journal's full. And the journal has all of the hints. You want to look in this direction, don't overlook that, and all kinds of cryptic things, all kinds of those kind of puzzles where like a number represents a letter and they would, line it all out and you had to get a piece of paper and figure out what the clue was and all this stuff. And eventually I found the hidden fireplace, and actually there are two hidden fireplaces and I found them. So, you add your stuff to the journal and you put the journal back, and it's almost like geocaching. You don't tell anybody the secrets and everything. Rips the mattress open. It was not in a drawer. But that was a haunted hotel. I'm not kidding. The proprietor of the hotel, the man who built it, was a freed slave after the Civil War, and he moved out to California and reestablished himself, and he built this hotel for this gold mining community. And they say his ghost still lives there. And sometimes you can hear him walking the halls, or sometimes you can hear him jiggle your door handle and all this stuff. And I'm like, ha ha, it's kind of kitschy. And I'll tell you what, I woke up in the middle of the night and our door was open. Like the door to the room was just open. Like nobody was out there. It's like, now the house probably shifted because it was old. The old hotel probably shifted and stuff. Oh, God. Sorry. That scared the crap out of me. All of my deliveries go to a specific place. Hey, don't make me get the hose, Cletus. Shh, be quiet. It is a big dog. You be quiet. Go lay down. You did a good job, though. You guys are doing a good job. All of my deliveries go out in the summer kitchen, and that must be a new driver because he just walked straight up to the French doors and put a big box by the front door, and he scared the crap out of me. If you've ever seen the movie Fargo, where the girl's sitting there knitting and the guys come up to kidnap her, that's how I feel sometimes. Cletus, don't you make me get the hose. So I found the fireplaces. I put the journal back. And the door did creak open in the middle of the night. So Uncle Albert must have stopped by to say hello. What I really liked about these rooms is there was no electronics, no phone, no clock, radios. It's like you really did step back into the 1800s. That was it. All of the antique furniture was all period. Everything was great. And then they would open up the tea room for tea time, and they served tea, and it was bed and breakfast. You got breakfast in the morning. And when you would go in for tea time, they had games to play. All of the games were old games. I mean, there wasn't like Monopoly. They had old fun games that they would play back in the day. So great. So anyways, what I do now, and I haven't done it for a while because I don't think we've really stayed at a place like that ever since my diagnosis of cancer several years ago. But I'm going to do it again. And I did it the last time we stayed at a bed and breakfast. The last time we went to a bed and breakfast, we stayed at this old plantation type style, but not an actual working plantation. And they had converted the carriage house from the 1800s into a bed and breakfast. So we stayed in this old carriage house where they used to keep all of the carriages for the horses. The horses stayed elsewhere, but that's where the carriages were kept. And so I took a journal and I introduced myself in the journal and I wrote it, and I cleared it with the innkeeper before I did this. I let her know I wanted to do it and got her permission. So I wrote in the journal, and I encourage people to leave a little story or a comment or something, or even just sign it in the journal when they find it. So I hid it in the room. And then on TripAdvisor, I gave my 5-star rating for the inn because they were really just great hosts. And I tell people, there's a journal hidden in the room. Can you find it? And if you find it, don't take it. Make sure you return it. Don't tell anybody where it is. It's a secret. And if you find it, then you belong to a secret society. And so like the fireplace one, once you found it, you could boast on TripAdvisor that you belong to the secret fireplace society. Major, you're scared to leave your room. That was lucky they were serving breakfast in the morning. I like that. No electronics for the night. I think you'll find it's called the Coach House, just like that at my local pub. I wonder where the journal is and what stories are in it now. I don't know because we need to go back. Such a neat little place. And the hosts were wonderful. The breakfast was delicious. And I just thought it was really neat because, the Coach House was beautiful as is. And it was brick with the peaked roof on it and ivy growing up. It was just gorgeous. And you open up these big slider doors to go in, and then the room was to one side. And I think they had 2 or 3 rooms. My sister and her husband stayed in one room. They had a family room up in the loft, and then we stayed in another room. It was just gorgeous. And the host was wonderful. And I need to go back. I'm friends with them on Facebook, and every once in a while I chime in and let them know that we need to plan another visit, but we just haven't. They got hit pretty hard by that derecho. They had all of these beautiful trees on the property, and all the trees were broken. Really cool and exciting. It was, Matt. But I want to know where the journal is now too. I need to, you know what? Thank you for reminding me that. I'm going to go back on my TripAdvisor account. I'm going to check and see if anybody's written about the journal. So I think if we end up at this hotel, whether it be in the Igloo, the hot air balloon, or in the lunar land, why do I always want to say Manning? The lunar landing, man on the moon thing. I need to create a secret society and hide something and have a journal that leads to it. I need to clear it with them and see if I can really do that. There is, anyways, like I was saying earlier about this place, I could talk forever, I swear. There's a with the server 503. Is that a computer joke, Major? Like 404 cannot be found. You can go to the restaurant. Like I said, you can go out and get in your car. You can walk across in good weather. But there's a tunnel that runs from the hotel under the airfield. I was going to say landing strip, but I know that the Major would make a fun joke out of it. You go like under the airstrip to the hotel. It's this tunnel. And, you read the reviews and people are like, the tunnel's creepy, but it's worth going in. I'm going to go in that tunnel. Let's see if there's things hidden. I want to check it out. I might hide the journal in the tunnel. Wouldn't that be something if I could have the staff help me find a place to hide it in the tunnel and then put it on the TripAdvisor? Joke about a problem with the server. Okay, I said a computer thing. I love the way your mind thinks. Thank you, Roberta. So that's what I want to do. Like I said, I know Papa Jim will not watch this. I don't know what it is. I mean, I've been with the man for 40 years, right? And he does some lives with me sometimes. But when he comes home in the evening, if he's flipping through YouTube and he sees that I've done a live and he clicks on, I'm like, oh, don't watch that. It's like I'm embarrassed for him to watch me. It's like, I think I sound funny when I listen to it on a replay. So I say, don't watch me. So I know he won't pick up on it. Did you guys see it? How much change we put in our change jar? You guys got to watch that on Saturdays. If it's not a joke, there's a problem with the server. Anyways, so that's what I'm going to plan for another trip coming up. And I think if we make it to Branson, or oh my gosh, make it into the bank where the Ingalls used to live, I'll see about hiding and doing a secret fireplace society at the bank. Not saying there's a fireplace in the room where we'll be staying and that there's a secret or a hidden fireplace, but I need to do something like that. I love things like that. I think I shared with you guys before, I'm going to start geocaching again. And so I've updated everything. Hello, Coupon Gale. Country Mama, I emailed a link to the Farrah Fawcett commercial. Airplane was on the ground, not flown. Okay, good deal. Okay, good deal. I'm sure that Papa Jim will get a kick out of that because, 1970s, who didn't love Farrah Fawcett when they were a kid? A teen boy who didn't love Farrah Fawcett. So I want to do some different things like that, but I'm going to get back into geocaching. I already got my membership to the Geocaching Society hooked back up. And I thought we had over 100 geocaches found, and it said I only have 62. So I need to up my numbers again. And he keeps saying 503. I don't know what I'm doing. But I'm going to get into geocaching again. And Papa Jim's like, okay. But I know he'll get into it once I get into it again because I have so much fun with it. And see, that's another thing. The people who didn't enjoy the Queen Mary, I like to go on these fun things, right? And they're not going to watch this either. And if they do, I don't care. I love everybody, but sometimes people they upset me because they don't enjoy life. And then they try to make me feel like I'm having a terrible time. This is a really cool idea. I unfortunately have to run. I'll catch the recap to hear the rest of the conversation. Thanks everybody for the good chat. Hey, Matt, thanks. Until next time, y'all have a great day. I appreciate you stopping by, Matt. I hope you stop by again. I'm on here doing weird stuff all the time. Never done it, but you're inspired to try. Oh, the chat disappeared and it said there was a problem. Okay, I got you. You had a Farrah Fawcett t-shirt? I never had her t-shirts, but I did enjoy watching Charlie's Angels. But, oh my God, what was I going to say? Oh, geocaching. I found out my neighbor, who I've known for 8 years, has one hidden on her farm, and she's never said anything to me, ever. She never told me, which is a good thing because that means I can trust her with a secret. Because if she didn't tell me this, that means she can keep a good secret. Yes, Matt. Thank you. I'm glad everything's good on your side, Yossi. So I'm going to start geocaching again. If you don't know what that is, you use a GPS on your phone and you go on a website and you get coordinates where little treasures have been hidden. And you know what? Oh no, I took Facebook down. I took Facebook down off of my laptop because I didn't want it to go to Messenger in case anybody tried calling. I didn't want that to be an issue. But maybe I can pull it up real quick and show you guys how this works because I think it's so fun and I should have had it ready before. But this should come up relatively quickly. And it did. And I'm going to go here. Like you can see what I'm doing because I haven't shared the page yet. And I'm going to go here. And I'm going to go to my albums. And I have an album just on geocaching. Because I'm a nerd. But I do love these fun little treasure hunt things. I think they're so awesome. And let me see if I can find a really fun. There it is. Okay. So this is one you guys will never see or know where I'm at. So I'm going to show it to you. This is the very first geocache that we ever found. So let me share the page and show you what it is because it is so cool. It is so cool, guys. Share the screen. Slim Jet tab. It's going to be it. Okay. So you can see that hubby is walking in the middle of this dry lake bed, right? Or this dry wash. We're in the middle of nowhere. People probably walk this wash bed all the time. They have no idea that there's a treasure that's hidden. They walk right by it all the time. So as I scroll the pictures over, this is where we had to drive to get there. We had to drive up and over on this old dirt road. There was a sign that said that you were like on, it wasn't private property or what, I don't know what the sign said. But according to the coordinates and the hints that we had, we knew that a geocache was hidden in this general area. Okay. And we knew it tells you what size it is. This is a micro, which means it's really, really teeny tiny. And so we're looking and we're looking and we're looking, and Papa Jim found it way up inside of this post. So he had to start at the top of those holes and take a little screwdriver and push the little treasure down until he was able to get it. And once he got it, it had this tiny little piece of paper in there, and you unroll it, you sign it with your name that you make up when you're geocaching, you roll it back up and you shove it back in, and then you log it on the website so people can say, oh, look, I found this, and everything is great. What kind of things do you find in geocaching? Okay, so that, Gail, that's a micro, is when it's just, there's just one that you sign. So let me show you one. These are the ones I really love. You see, now we're in the same area, but there's, you're led according to the coordinates on your phone. We were led to this thing of rocks. So once you get there, and you can see this, there's this plastic container, and it has like camouflage tape on it, so it just blends in. People don't know it's there. So we found it, and then we open it, and there's all of these fun little things in here. And I know some people are going to say, okay, that's really stupid. I don't care. So we took the little Eeyore eraser, and I have a little tackle box that I keep all my stuff in. So let me back up a second here and show you something. We got all of these little daisy erasers, smiley face erasers. And so at every little geocache that we found, when we would take something, we would leave a daisy eraser. And so I said we were leaving a daisy chain. So in this one here, we took the Eeyore eraser and we left the daisy eraser. And then you put it back. So, oh, look, there's my fat butt. My little camouflage hat. Okay, so here's one that we love to find these. These are in old ammo cans. And this was hidden in this tree. So when you find these, I mean, they do make stickers you can put on there. So it kind of tells people like, this is a treasure. If you're not participating in the game, just leave it alone. Please don't take it. Please don't destroy it. Put it back where it is. So this is the very first ammo can that we found. And then we also found this little one, you know, those little magnetic key holders that you put underneath your car, the fender of your car. They had one underneath this trailer for an ice cream shop that was up the road. But our phone told us, you know, okay, you're real close to a geocache, here are the coordinates. And then you get out and you have to find it. And it was way up under the wheel well with the spider webs and stuff. Papa Jim had to get that one out. I wasn't going to touch it. I mean, I'm even holding it like, ooh, spider webs, but I had fun. Okay. You guys don't even know. That's my son saying, he's like, you don't even know. I'm not even watching the chat because I'm having so much fun. Are you guys even still here? There's 10 of you here. If that doesn't work, network error, cute. Okay, so when you go to a shopping mall, I guarantee you there's a geocache around you and you don't even know it. You don't even know. And here's the thing. When you participate in this game of worldwide treasure hunting, you have to be stealthy. You can't let anybody know what you're doing and they're called muggles. People who don't know what you're doing are called muggles. You don't want muggles to know what you're doing because if they see you, they'll destroy the treasure because they're not part of the game. So you have to be stealthy. So here we are in a parking lot where my coordinates took me to this lamppost and people were kind of watching. Papa Jim's across the way there. He's taking my picture. This is before we were doing videos. This is like 10 years ago. And people are watching what I'm doing. So I'm acting like I'm talking on my phone. I'm not talking on my phone, but I'm acting like it so I don't look suspicious, right? Because you don't want to look suspicious. See, I'm just minding my own business, right? Oh, I got to go back and show you. So where I'm sitting, the little square metal box for the light post lifts up. And when you lift it up, there's like an Altoids can with a magnet inside stuck to the box. And so you lift it up, you get the box, you sign the log saying that you found it, and then you put your little eraser in and you take something back. And then you just go on like nobody knows what you're doing. So here's some more stuff. This was the very first one. This is another ammo can, and it had a barrel of monkeys in there. And so I was leaving the daisy chain, but then I loved that we were finding more geocaches with a barrel of monkeys in it. So we would take a monkey. So, I mean, this was behind a dumpster, behind somebody's business, hidden in this bush, and people park there all day long. They don't know that there's a treasure there. So there's our stuff. And look, there's the monkey. It says this was February 18th, 2011. So almost 12 years ago. 12 years ago? 11 years ago. Today I found this baby monkey with my GPS. I will adopt him, take him home, and name him George. And this is the first time we took our granddaughter with us geocaching. So this geocache, there's this olive tree behind them. And the olive tree had a big knot hole. And down inside the knot hole of the tree was completely hollow. And so this geocache, little treasures in the tube on a rope, and you had to reach down and find where the rope was hanging from a hook and pull it up out and get the geocache. And look, she found a baby monkey. And I'm telling you, this kid was like a dog on a mission to find crack, if it was a drug DEA dog or something. Like, she could sniff out these geocaches. And so this is one that we went on where it was telling you all about the deserts of England. So what's really nice is you get the coordinates for where there's a geocache, and each one, sometimes they have little stories to go with them. So once you find it, then you can learn about the story about all these different little deserts. So we were finding all of these little geocaches. This is a great thing to do with your family. I mean, look how excited she is to find that geocache that's hidden and find more monkeys. She had the little beads that she's wearing. We found that in there. She had so much fun. There was one at a duck pond. These are really fun ones when you go to some bigger places, because as you walk around to different places, you can find clues, and the clues will ultimately lead you to another place where the cache is hidden. So we went to this one. This was the duck pond where we lived. And, we got to walk around and feed the ducks and get the clues, and then ultimately find the treasure. And then this one was really cool because you see that shoe? That shoe has attached to it what's called a travel bug. And somebody purchased this travel bug. It's a trackable device according to the numbers on it. You attach it to something and you put it in one of those ammo cans. And if you're the next person that comes to this ammo can on a geocaching treasure hunt and you find this, you can leave your travel bug and you take their travel bug and you take it to the next one. And ultimately what it is there's a story about this shoe, right? This shoe, I think, came from Wisconsin or Michigan. And when it started its journey, its destination that they wanted it to reach was Temecula, California. And we happened to live by Temecula, California. So we found this shoe. We took it to the sign, took the picture with it. I think we're even standing with it there. And we uploaded it to the site to let them know, hey, your shoe made it to its destination. We took it to the next geocache that we found, and we put it in there so it could find its way back to where it originally started from. Somewhere I've got a Mustang out there in the world. I don't know where it's traveled to. I can't find it. So this is my son. He thought this was the stupidest thing ever. This is stupid, Mom. I don't want to do this. This is dumb. And then he's like, whoa, this is cool. Look what we found. And then now he's up in the trees like a monkey, thinking he's all excited because he found one. I mean, he's climbing trees now looking for these geocaches. He was totally into it. They're cool. I mean, if you're driving by this tree, you have no idea. Look at how well it's hidden up in there, just in that crack of the tree right there. And then there's stuff inside with the log that you sign. See there? He found a monkey. There was another monkey. Look how beautiful it was there. Okay, so I could talk all day long about this. You see these little pile of logs? This is a horse trail for people that go on horseback rides. We had to wait for the horses to go by. And then that little thing, she was out there digging underneath those logs and she found it. There's at the duck pond. I mean, it's just such a great family time to do these things. We have so much fun with it. I can't wait to do it again. So I'm so excited. I mean, she just loved it. Look, some of them are so high, I can't even reach them. We had to lift up our granddaughter to get it out of this rotten tree. I mean, Papa Jim couldn't even reach it. They're underneath logs. They're all kinds of places. It is such a, look at that smile. She loved it. Okay, I'm coming back to StreamYard now. Okay, thank you for doing that with me. Too many jokes I'm missing. Sounds like so much fun and such fun adventures for the kiddos and the grandkids. It is. The sun on the lake was a beautiful picture. Thank you. You know, this is what's really great is it gets the kids outdoors. We did geocaching with our kids years ago. It was fun, right? Isn't it fun? You should never take drugs, always pay for them. Should put property prices up. It's really funny. I would do that just to confuse people. I spent all morning painting a big blue square in my garden just to confuse or convince those at Google Earth that I have a swimming pool. That's awesome. That's awesome. You should leave something that shares your YouTube channel, Alicia. Oh, I will. I'll put my business card on the inside of it. I make bookmarks, so when I start geocaching, I'm going to leave some of those bookmarks to advertise my channel. You can. Yeah, you can. You know what we found one time is we found a geocache, and inside of it was like an old trading baseball card. Ouch. And it was a trading card for an old Ozzy Osbourne concert. And it actually referenced the whole, bat incident, which actually happened here in Iowa. And if I've got to find my little toolbox that has all of our little treasures in it. I don't know where it is. It must be out in the workshop or something. But we have a Ozzy Osbourne trading card that we found. As long as you kind of trade even for even, don't take something really, really big and then leave nothing or leave something small. But I'm so excited to start this again. And I told Papa Jim, I said, I don't know what I'm going to leave when we start finding more geocaches. I just ordered 200 stickers. I'm leaving Country Mama music stickers all over the Midwest. So what's really neat too, and when I want to do this spring, I can't do it right now in the winter. But for those of you who know, there is the play and the movie Music Man. 76 trombones led the big parade. Okay, that one. Well, the man who wrote that is Meredith. Can't remember his full name. I want to say Meredith Baxter Burney, but that's an actress. Anyways, and I want to say Burgess Meredith, but he's the old man in Grumpy Old Men. Meredith Willson. The man who wrote it lived in Iowa. And in the town where he lived, they have Music Man Square, which is kind of all dedicated to the 76 trombones and everything. And I'll see about doing that for you, Major. There is, when you pull these maps up to see where the treasures are, they leave little dots on a map. Somebody actually took the time to leave treasure over several miles, okay, that when you look at the map, it actually makes a marching band member walking in a marching band playing a trombone. All the little dots form that outline of that. It is so cool. Meredith Wilson, yes. So I want to get all of those. The funniest thing happened though. You saw how much my granddaughter absolutely loved going geocaching with us. And the more I researched it, you can go scuba diving in the ocean. There are some underwater that you can find, but the furthest one away from any of us, if you want to look into geocaching, the furthest one is on the space station. They have actually put a geocache on the space station. And one day we had our granddaughter for the weekend and we said, guess what? There is a geocache on the space station up in outer space. And she got all sad and dejected. I'm like, what's wrong? She goes, you didn't go find it without me, did you? Yes, child. Last week, Grandpa and I hopped on the space shuttle. We went up to the space station and we grabbed it, signed our name. Sorry, we didn't take you. I'll leave one, the palace, and somewhere else. Oh, nice. That would be fun. Bye, Free Handly Maid. Nisi, as soon as you're feeling better, I wanted to talk to you and see if you wanted to be an official tester for one of my patterns. Matt's in Iowa as well. It's cold here today, isn't it, Matt? Did you lose power last night? We did. It was cold in the house. And now my coffee's cold. But so that's what I'm going to start doing. I'm going to geocaching. I want to start taking trips to weird places. I'm going to work on my video today for the ice castles where we went last weekend. Life is short. Waste it wisely. I'm going to start doing some more fun things. One day she will choose to be an astronaut so she can geocache that one on the space station. Wouldn't that be awesome? Wouldn't that be fun? I think I shared a long time ago when I first started telling my stories. I shared this one story. Where we used to live when we were raising our 4 small boys was, right in the height and the heyday of the space shuttle. And the boys would just be so excited when they would see like if the news would come on in the evening and they would talk about the space shuttle taking off or the space shuttle landing, and they would get all excited. And I noticed one day when we were driving by this big cement company, they have all those big bins and the catwalks and the ladders and everything. And we were driving by one day. I thought, gosh, it kind of looks like Cape Canaveral where the space shuttle takes off. So I thought, I'm just going to put a little magic in my boys' lives. And we were driving by and I said to the boys, I said, it's where the space shuttle takes off from. What? Oh my gosh. They were so excited that is, or a deep sea diver. They were so excited to know that was where the space shuttle took off from. So from that point forward, anytime that, we'd be flipping through like the news at noon or something, they would talk about the space shuttle. I'd say, space shuttle's going to take off. Everybody in the car. And they would get so excited and they'd run to the car, and we had a minivan and we would drive. And of course, you hit every red light that you can, and they're just dying in the back seat. Hurry, we've got to go see the space shuttle take off. And we would get there and it's like, oh, we just missed it. It's not here. And I would look up in the sky and I would find like a contrail or something. It's like, oh, that must have been where the rocket went. We just missed it. I'm sorry. But, and then I'd take them out to McDonald's for a Happy Meal, or we would go get an ice cream. And they would be so excited that we almost saw the space shuttle. And it was just the highlight of their day. They'd talk about it all day. And then when their daddy would come home from work, they would just like rush him when he would walk in the door. Daddy, we almost saw the space shuttle today. And they'd go on and on and on about the space shuttle. And it was a big thing. Well, the years go by and they kind of lose the magic in it. Or I got a job and we couldn't go in the middle of the day, or they're all in work or something, or school and I'm at work. And we just stopped driving out to see the space shuttle. So the years go by, and I don't know why, but I never told them that it was just kind of like a story. And McDonald's was anticlimactic. They loved their little Happy Meals. It was fun for them. But it was a letdown that they didn't see the space shuttle. But the years go by, and one day my son calls me. He's like 19 or 20. Thanks, Mom. He's pissed. What? Thanks a lot. Do you know how stupid I look right now? What happened? What's wrong? He says, I was driving down the road with my girlfriend's brother and his friends, and we're driving down the road. And I said, that's where the space shuttle takes off from. And they're like, what? He's like, yeah, that's where the space shuttle launches from. They're like, you idiot, that's a cement factory. I had to drive them around and show them the entrance where it said like Superior Ready Mix or something. They're like, don't you see all of the cement trucks? Oh my God, they razzed him so bad for a long time because he was with that girlfriend for a while. And I'm sorry. I mean, it wasn't intentional. And so he was a little pissed about that. I still don't know if they all don't know that jackalopes aren't real. Because when we took a train trip, I mean, we spent hours in the observation car looking out over the tundra of Wyoming looking for jackalopes. Enjoyed the frozen coffee chat. Have a blessed day. Thank you, Roberta. I'm sorry you've got to go. We are coming up on 2 hours, guys. I should call it a day and save some stories for another day. I need to put some nice warm socks on because even with this sweater wrapped around my feet are freezing on this wooden floor. And I need to put my hair up in some rollers. They've been heating up this whole time. And I need to make my videos for the day. So yeah, jackalopes are hysterical. The boys were snipes. We used to take the boys snipe hunting. And what was so great is like you'd catch a snipe when they're not looking, you catch a snipe, which is a fictional bird, monster bird. And we'd carry it in a paper bag. And we'd put like a rock or a pine cone in there. And you shake the bag like it's trying to get out and go, We'd have a separate paper bag where you took a hole, you tear the corner off. So it looks like they'd eaten out the corner. And then when you get back to camp, you're like, I can't wait to see what's in here. And it's like, they chewed out the corner of the bag and they got away. And the kids were like, oh man, we really wanted to see that snipe. I know. Well, we'll go out tomorrow night and we'll go snipe hunting and we do it all over again. They were so into it. They loved it until they find out it's not real. And I've got one son. He's coming around now, but he used to be not the one son who believed about the space shuttle till he was an adult. But I have another son. He's like, I tell my son the truth about everything because you lied to us about a lot of things. It's like, I'm just putting magic in your life. It's not an intentional lie to hurt you. It's just magic and it's memories. And he was bitter about it for a long time. But then he watched the movie Big Fish and he really likes the movie Big Fish. He says, Mom, I kind of get it now. You can just have an ordinary story or you can make it something really fun. What toy did you get with your Happy Meal? I don't remember what they got. I do remember one time they had little trains. You could collect the little trains with little Disney characters and you got little train to add on every time. But I forgot what they got that time. But they don't have them anymore. But they have the memory. See, you can go to McDonald's, get a Happy Meal anytime, but it's the memory of going to see the space shuttle and you missed it by that much. That's what they remember. And they remember the snipe hunts and all those fun things. And I do it sometimes now with my granddaughter too. My son's like, thanks, Mom. I mean, I tell her tall tales all the time. You thought it might have been a spaceship. Wouldn't it have been neat if it would have been a little Challenger spaceship or something? When we first moved out here, we were staying with our kids while we were trying to find a place to stay. We were only there like a week. And my grandson, who was like 7, maybe 8 at the time, he's flipping through the channels and he stops on the Family Guy. And Peter Griffin and the Family Guy, he said something inappropriate or something. I said, oh, I don't like that Peter Griffin guy. Griffith, I don't know. And my grandson says, why, Grandma? I said, oh, he's got a filthy mouth on him. I tell you what, I went to school with him when I was a kid. We went to school together. He always had a filthy mouth. I don't like him. He's foul-mouthed. I don't know if he still doesn't. I mean, he's 16. But I never told him I didn't really go to school with Peter Griffin. He believed it for years, though. I know 7, 8, 9, up into 10. He's like, yeah, my grandma went to school with him. So one of these days he's going to tell his wife's, going to tell his in-laws or something. They're going to be flipping through some old retro channels. He's going to say, yeah, my grandma went to school with him. Oh, I'm looking forward to that phone call. Anyways, guys, that's it for today. I'm going to go get my feet warmed up, get my hair done, and film some content for my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a lovely day. Stay warm. Or if you're Daz, stay cool. And we will see you. Let's see. Saturday, we're going to stuff my piñata. We're going to stuff my cupcake. Monday, we've got Round the Hay Bale podcast, so make sure you check that out. And then Monday night, we've got a quickie coming up. I need to check my calendar to see who's on the calendar for the quickie. And then we'll see you again next Wednesday for our coffee chat. Maybe it'll be a little bit warmer next week. So until I see you again, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and have a blessed day. Bye, guys.